In May, at Mexico City's iconic Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, the second season of the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour roared to life with 3 thrilling races. From there, the global touring car spectacle headed to Europe, delivering high-octane action at legendary circuits in Valencia, Monza and Villarreal. After the summer break, the bumper-to-bumper and door-to-door battles resumed in Australia at the Bend Motorsports Park.
Mexico was a disaster, but we managed to come back. I'm very proud of that. I mean, Valencia, Bebu already won a race, which gave confidence to the team. And then Monza was my race. Car was just fantastic. It's a circuit I love. I'm confident since Monza because it seems that we can put the car in the window. I hope that we can carry this momentum all the way through to Macau.
For Macau, the next stop is Korea, where drivers got a taste of the local culture.
We had the possibility to visit Buddhist temples. We were lucky enough to experience a ceremony, and although I did not really understand the language, it was very nice to experience the vibe of a ceremony. After visiting the Buddhist temples, we had the possibility to enjoy lunch. We had fish, we had some roots, kimchi, very spicy, which I love. The good thing is that you can feel the freshness. You can understand that it's healthy stuff. In the end, it was again a very nice experience.
Come qualification and come the inclement weather, rainfall befell the Inje Speedium raceway, and with it, a step into the unknown for the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour field. With a wet surface, the going was tough for several drivers, but the form team would be the Lynk & Co Cyan racing outfit, not that man Jan Ellershay, however. It would be teammate Thed Bjork that would be the form man of qualification, the Swedish driver taking his first pole position of the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour 2025 season. However, the standout from qualifying would not be Thed Bjork, but HMO Customer Racing's Josh Buchan. The Australian driver, in his second weekend of the World Tour in 2025, showed incredible pace, and just why he's a double TCR Australia champion, putting the car on the front row of the grid for the first racing action of the day. The green flag waves, all is good to go motor racing. Turn your eyes to the timing entry at the top of your screen, lights on, lights off in an instant, and the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour round number 13 is underway here at the Inje Speedium, and at the front of the pack, Josh Buchan gets a perfect start. Look a little bit further back, Esteban Gurrieri almost inserts himself into a gap that did not exist as everybody's scrambling for grip on slick tyres. The two Lynk & Co's have to take avoiding action of each other. Both stay on the racetrack though. Gurrieri having a look to the inside. That's where the opportunity knocks. That's where the presentation of chance is there, but Gurrieri can't quite find a way past just now. Josh Buchan though at the head of the pack, looking free and clean so far, with his second advantage over absolutely everybody else squabbling behind. There is side by side Gurrieri going alongside one of Lincoln Co. Cyan racing machine. That could have been marching one. No, it was Thed Bjork actually in a little bit of strife. So our fastest driver in qualifying, demoted to third on the grid, not having the start he would have hoped for Thed. He's running a little bit further down in these early stages. As everybody just trying to make their way through. Remember, it is dry, but still damp on the track. Everybody's running slick tyres to the best of my knowledge, with the exception of Janue and Yunsung Park, who have slicks on the front, wets on the rear. The blue machine, the yellow wing mirrors, is Esteban Guerrieri. Has a look to the outside line, that will become the inside. Will they be afforded the racing route though? We'll come back to that one. We'll look at Josh Buchan making his way through the corner exit of the incident we were looking at, and there is Guerrieri almost glued together as one. Look at the back of your shot. Esteban Guerrieri in the Go Racing Honda Civic. The company there is Park in the Solar Indigo Racing Hyundai Elantra Red as well. Some great stuff from Yunsung Park and Janui as well. Fighting very hard indeed for that 4th, 5th, 6th position. There is Thed Bjork. He's got himself involved as well as Bjork up in a 6th. So Guerrieri shuffled down somewhat in that little battle. There's Aurelian Comp trying desperately to find some real estate for himself. Aurelian doing a good job to stay out of trouble so far in the Cupra Leon VZ. There we see the grey machine with the yellow highlights just behind. And sideways once again, those rear wet tyres starting to wear off a little bit now. Maybe slickshod cars are becoming somewhat in the ascendancy, and a great start. The Yunsung Park is now beginning to fall away. Esteban Guerrieri gives precisely 0 racing room to Thed Bjork and takes a position away from Park for good measure. Johnson, be very careful not to collect the rear of one of our championship challengers. We're right on board with Aurelian Comte. He's got the best seat in the house of the fight ahead. There's the struggling Solar Indigo car. Almost looks like a drift show, doesn't it? So little grip on the rear axle of that machine. I'm really sad to say, but I think the strategic gamble for Solite is just not going to pay off unless we get a downpour very quickly indeed. It does look like, as a competitive prospect at least, Yunsung and Janui Park's day is almost numbered. The big question is, how many places will they hemorrhage, and will they finish on track or in the tyre stack? Thed Bjork trying very hard indeed to find a way past the 97, and he needs to, because Aurelian Comp's having a look as well. Down the inside, last of late breakers for Bjork, not being afforded a great deal of racing room on this occasion. But our beautiful drone shots catch that one in all its glory. Aurelian Comte has to take to the curb, can't quite find a way past. Good defence in there for Yunsung Park. Holds on to that 7th place for now. A little bit further back, Janui Park, mirror image of teammate Yunsung. A little bit further up though, let's catch this one. Esteban Guerrieri to the inside. Marching Qua is the victim. Guerrieri is the one with the advantage. Guerrieri looks like the car that is definitely more agile at this stage in the motor race. What has Jan Earlishay done to the setup of that Lincoln Co? Is it going to start fading? Guerrieri sees an opportunity. A little bit of contact between the two of them. The outside line is the inside line now as Esteban runs a little deep. Will he be vulnerable to a counter-attack? No, he won't. And a round of applause is the least Esteban Guerrieri deserves for that one. That is a very, very powerful overtake indeed. Earlishay starting to struggle for pace a little bit now, only the halfway marker of this race. But Jan Earlishay does not look like a happy camper at all. And Mar, I think Mar has the advantage. He'll be to the inside. Yes, there is the 155. So Marching War looking to attack Aurelian Comte. Absolutely no opportunity to close that door. He's going to pin it to the inside, though. That is brave. A little bit deep, a little bit fast, a little bit spectacular, but a whole lot successful. Great defensive driving from Aurelian Comte. He holds on to 6th position. Marching War will have to get up a lot earlier to find a way past the French driver. Josh Buchan, not quite as young man as Nacho Montenegro. He's not old, he's 30, he's very young indeed. But he's been there, done that one, and very much worn the T-shirt. 2023 TCR Australia Champion, 2024 TCR Australia Champion, 2025 racing the Monochrome GT4 Australia Series. He's got 8 wins in TCR, 31 podium positions and 4 pole positions. Azcona then to the inside. Mar, zero interest whatsoever in defending that one. Keeps the door wide open, and Mikel Azcona has a wander through. Cursory look to the inside for Marching War, but he's got to be careful. These are tentative moments. That's Norbert Michelis in the background, and Mikel Azcona, after you, sir, decides he doesn't want it after all. Mars a lot better in 9th place, and Mikel fancies the reverse pole position. And to the head of the pack, there is Josh Buchan. Those are the flashing lights. That is the checkered flag. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Winners' Club for the very first time. Josh Buchan for HMO Customer Racing. What a performance from the Australian driver. Started at the head of the pack. He was mighty in qualifying this morning. He was mighty away from the line in difficult conditions under all the pressure in the world. Josh Buchan never once looked like making a mistake. He secures the victory, takes the first win of the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour. But absolutely zero tension on the shoulders of that man, Josh Buchan, as he celebrates his very first Kumho FIA TCR World Tour victory. And what a victory it was. Ever so slightly understated celebrations for the HMO Customer Racing team. And here are the top 10 finishing positions. Josh Buchan wins from Esteban Gurrieri and Thed Bjork. Jan Elyshe, Santiago Urrutia and Aurelien Comte round out the top 6 finishers.
You know, it's funny, it's first World Tour win, but way back when they came to Australia, I thought I should have had one then. So I'm actually quite glad to get one. I didn't think we would. The competition is so high now, it's out of control how good the teams up and down the lane were. We probably needed an event like this that was a little bit like that to get a victory, but nonetheless, I always forget everyone at home, but Mum, Dad, Lauren, how you doing?
Outstanding performance then from Josh Buchan, winner of the first race of the weekend at Inje Speedium. For round number 14 of the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour, on pole position is Mikel Azcona alongside is Marching War, Dusan Borkovic, Nacho Montenegro. On the second row of the grid, the green flag waves. At the back of the field, the lights are on, the lights are off, and we are go here at the Inje Speedium for round 14 of the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour. And at the head of the pack, it is first job complete for Mikel Azcona. That's a great launch away from the line. Following him through, Dusan Borkovic gets a fabulous start up in the second position. Down into third falls Marching War, the Chinese driver, on the defensive from the second of the two Goat Racing Honda Civics. Has the line covered as Aurelien Comte looks to the outside line, and Aurelien Comte is duly shuffled out by a trio of Link & Co Cyan racing machines. Aggressive driving then in the middle of the pack, while Mikel Azcona gets an early lead at the front of the field. 2.6 seconds is the advantage then from Dusan Borkovic for Mikel Azcona. So this is a dream start for the Hyundai driver. He was worried about the pace over the course of a race distance. No problems so far. There is Aurelien Comte in strife, running very slowly at the back of the field. A little bit of contact as well. Further up, Barry Johnson Park going side by side. Esteban Gurrieri shows how it's done. Yes, boy, that's how you make an overtake. Beautiful stuff from the Argentinian driver, Gurrieri. Another great overtake by the Argentinian driver. In fact, straight into the heat of battle, Santiago Urrutia tries to bang into this one. Discretion, the better part of valour on this occasion for the Uruguayan driver, though. He backs out of it, makes him vulnerable to Norbert Michelis behind. Norby, though, can't quite find the real estate just yet to launch an attack. Luckily that car is out of the way. This is the more exciting view. This is the onboard with the very much mobile Esteban Gurrieri. Just ahead of us is Jan Elyshe, rival, long-time rival in touring cars, but crucially for 2025, the main championship protagonist. That's a beautiful run from Gurrieri. Elyshe for himself has a little look to the inside of Montenegro, can't find a way past Gurrieri, also very rapidly running out of space, but Esteban is on a charge, uses a bit more racetrack than is ideally necessary on that occasion, and that little charge, almost as soon as it's said, is extinguished very quickly indeed. Thed Bjork finds the opportunity and the position. Bjork now ahead of Gurrieri, and from the attacker to the defender goes the Argentinian driver. And there's a launch, there's Thed around the outside, last and late breakers, Gurrieri to the inside as well, while Jan Elyshe and myself, to be quite frank, were fully focused on Thed Bjork. Esteban Guerrieri steals in, and there's Bjork and Montenegro going for seconds. Contact between the two of them. Montenegro robust in his defence as Bjork in the 111. Needs to be so cautious now. He's got to attack, but he doesn't want to risk the car. The last thing Thed could do is put the car into the barriers at this stage, to the inside. Back to the outside we go, riding on board with with Guerrieri. Around the outside goes Bjork. Hello. That's a bit of an overtake. Plenty of bravery there from Thed. Thank you very much. What a pass, Tarquini style, on two wheels for Montenegro. Nacho gets well and truly out of the way, and that allows Guerrieri through. As a little bit further down, that is the 87 of Janui Park. Further back, that's Park, losing out momentarily to Bebu Girolamo, and then with the most incredible drone camera shots I've seen in a very long time, just about holds on to that one. Janui Park, Johnson Park, my apologies. Still on racetrack, still in 11th position. His teammate Janui Park looks rather sad indeed, stranded at the side of the track, and the inevitable safety car has been called. So, green flag conditions here in Korea, 9 minutes and 40 seconds plus a lap on the clock. It is advantage Mikel Azcona from Buchan Borkovic, but look a little bit further back. Almost immediately Thed Bjork looks to the inside of Marcin Kwa, the Chinese driver, very reluctant to close the door, leaves it wide open for Bjork, but trying to find a way past. It's Guerrieri on the grass. Contact between the two. Esteban Guerrieri given no racing room whatsoever. Both cars just about survive this one. Secondary bit of contact between Borkovic as well. A little bit further up. This is almost disaster for Esteban Guerrieri, but for some reason all of his good luck cards have been cashed in a single move. Esteban Guerrieri stays on the racetrack and only loses one place. Nacho Montenegro providing rear gunner from a very hungry looking Santiago Urrutia. Santi though can't find his way past. Marcin Guard drops down there into 8th position. There we go, this is the pass for 2nd position. Thed Bjork gets a wonderful launch off the corner. Dusan Borkovic, vulnerable now, has the inside line, will have the best place to defend the position, and does so. The 62 strong on the brakes, holds on to 2nd, and Bjork almost gives in, but contact between the two. Borkovic sideways, great bit of car control there for the Serbian driver, and Erlichey maybe a little bit more aggressive than would necessarily be ideal, does take the position. On home soil for Hyundai as part of the Hyundai End Festival here at Inje Speedium. Mikel Azcona is the man that stepped up, that raised his head above the parapet and has put in a champion's performance. Car number 196 never looked under pressure, and Mikel Azcona takes his first win of 2025 in the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour round number 14, and a more dominant performance you are unlikely to see. Number 1, says Mikel Azcona. The cheers from his team as well. Azcona then from Jan Erlichey and Thed Bjork are our race 2 top 3. Esteban Guerrieri, Dusan Borkovic and Santiago Urrutia round out the top 6 finishers.
So happy for this victory, to be honest. I was waiting so much for this victory after not a good start to the season. Also, this weekend we kind of struggled during practice, yesterday race also, but thanks to my team, I have to say that yesterday we have worked so hard to put the car on the window for dry conditions. Even with 30 kilos, I was pushing like hell and trying to keep the distance with Bjork. So really happy for this victory, thanks to the team. They really deserve this victory, and also here in Korea with Hyundai people, it's the best feeling I can have, so this victory is for them.
Commanding performance then for Mikel Azcona, and a victory for Hyundai on home soil in Korea makes the result all the sweeter for BRC. Great performance, can they repeat it though in race 3? Almost time to go then here at the Inje Speedium for the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour. 22 cars line up on the grid. The green flag waves at the back of the pack. The lights will go on, the lights will go off, and we are go for round 15 of the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour. Thed Bjork and Jan Erlischay lead the field away at the head of the pack. In third position, Esteban Gurrieri gets a lightning start. Josh Buchan dropping down the order through these opening few yards. Gurrieri immediately painted into the self of title rival Jan Erlischay's rear bumper. Erlischay has to go defensive very early indeed. Gurrieri can't quite find a way past. Buchan now trying to recover some last places as well. Marcinkoir very much in the middle of that one as 22 TCR cars squabble for position through sector 1. Aurelian Compton strife in the middle of your pack. That's one of the Park Solite cars sideways as well. Good bit of car control there for Janui. I think that was the higher rated of the two drivers on the grid at this moment in time. Janui did keep hold of the car and holds on to that advantage. But Bjork and Erlischay are our two race leaders, and everybody else is squabbling over positions further back. Here's Aurelian Comte. Love these first couple of corners. Through the final corner then, Aurelian Comte very aggressive indeed on the inside curb, but the curb is not as quick as the asphalt. Comte has to bail out of that particular attack. Very squirrely is the Cupra down into the run into T1 and T2. It's been aggressive all weekend there, has Aurelian. Putting that overtaking position, forget that one, Paul, be quiet, because there's drama. Girolami sideways does a great job to gather the car back together. Nacho Montenegro wants a piece of this one as well. Montenegro thinks better off the outside line. 8th place for now, but Marcinkoir, don't get too comfortable in that 7th position. I've got a sneaking suspicion you're going to be giving it away very quickly indeed. Look at the front end of the Cupra. It gets the car down into the inside. Does Aurelian Comte, has the outside line for the second part of the corner complex. That is not going to be quite enough real estate for Comte to find a way past, but look at the mid-corner speed. That 107 is mighty, mighty rapid to the inside again. There's no grip on the curbs, but he might just pull this one off. Marcinkoir will be well aware of his rival to the inside, and Aurelian Comte, with all of the flair and tenacity that you want to have, makes a wonderful manoeuvre there. Comte up into 7th position now. Santiago Urrutia though has the line covered. Buchan tempted to look at that inside line. No, but Mikel is tempted to have a look at Marcinkoir. Round the outside we go once again for Norby, and around the outside is closed off once again by Mar. Has a look to the in again. No room whatsoever. Mar's going to be deep though. He's going to be compromised. Can the car to the inside hold position? Norby, there's no grip on the curb. Doesn't quite have an opportunity, and Marcinkoir survives this one. Well, they're squabbling very hard indeed though. Nacho Montenegro is the third outlier in this little battle. To the line goes Thed Bjork, takes the checkered flag, and with it victory in round 15 of the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour for his 3rd race win of 2025, and a big signal of intent that Thed Bjork is here for the Drivers' Championship, and watch out anybody that might try and get in his way. An outstanding performance then for Thed Bjork, and the 30 points that go with it. Here are the race results. Thed Bjork from Jan Erlischay and Esteban Gurrieri. Mikel Azcona, Santiago Urrutia and Josh Buchan round out the top 6.
Fantastic to get paid for, but my car was flying this weekend. You know, it was so fast. But when you're fighting in the field, obviously it's not easy. But here, just relax, just drive, and so nice, so nice.
Brilliantly done.
Yeah, but it was so nice. You know, it looks easy in the front, but it's not. You have to be, you know, don't do any mistakes. But this weekend, send my best back to the family at home. They're always with me.
Congratulations, Thed.
Well, with that race victory, Thed Bjork moves up to 2nd in the Kumho TCR World Tour driver standings, 47 points in arrears of teammate Jan Erlischay. Esteban Gurrieri had a strong weekend, but it wasn't enough to stop him dropping down into 3rd. Points still on offer. Championship still very, very much alive for Gurrieri, and now for Thed Bjork as well. And with that victory, we say goodbye to an incredible weekend of racing here at the Inje Speedium in South Korea. 3 fantastic races. A first-time winner in Josh Buchan, a first win of the season for Mikel Azcona, and a championship charge ignited for Thed Bjork. Incredible scenes, and we're back again in just a couple of weeks' time as we head to China. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.